The Hand of Ethelberta. By Thomas Hardy. The Hand of Ethelberta, a comedy in chapters, is a novel by Thomas Hardy. Published in 1876. It was written, in serial form, for the Cornhill Magazine, which was edited by Leslie Stephen, a friend and mentor of Hardy's. Unlike the majority of Hardy's fiction, the novel is a comedy, with both humor and a happy ending for the major characters and no suicides or tragic deaths. It was an audacious work in several ways. Ethelberta Petherwin, the heroine, is the dominant figure in the narrative, beautiful, enterprising and outspoken. She becomes a social celebrity through her poetry and her performances as an oral storyteller. Her several wealthy admirers do not guess that her father is a butler and that various of her siblings are servants and laborers. She resourcefully assumes responsibility for the entire family, at one point in effect employing a number of them as domestic staff in her London home. The plot of the novel, as so often in Hardy, is eventually shaped by the heroine's need to choose between competing suitors. Character analysis. Ethelberta, the daughter of a poor family, manages to raise herself up in society. She is ambitious and bright, and knows what she wants, although she has moments of indecision. Having secretly married the elder son of the family she was working as governess for, she has already raised herself up, although at a price. Living with her mother-in-law, Ethelberta is forced to keep her family a secret. As the story begins, Ethelberta has written a volume of poetry, which becomes much talked about, and she is soon a celebrated and sought-after member of society. While living in London, Ethelberta's household is not all that society sees it as. Her servants are in fact her siblings, her father working in another household as butler, where on one occasion Ethelberta goes to dine. Ethelberta, still a young girl though already a widow, inherits the lease on her mother-in-law's house in London, where she lives knowing that when the lease expires she will have nothing. She knows she must marry a wealthy man and provide for her large family. Hardy presents the culturally elite in a not very flattering light, alongside the working men and women of Ethelberta's family, all of whom act from selfless motives and happily keeping their relationship to Berta a closely guarded secret. Ethelberta is in love with Christopher Julian, a young musician, who in turn is loved desperately by Ethelberta's sister Piketty. Plot summary. At the beginning of the book, it is told that Ethelberta was raised in humble circumstances but, through her work as a governess, married well at the age of 18. Her husband died 2 weeks after the wedding and, now 21, Ethelberta lives with her mother-in-law, Lady Petherwin. In the 3 years that have elapsed since the deaths of both her husband and father-in-law, Ethelberta has been treated to foreign travel and further privilege by her benefactress, but restricted from seeing her poor family. The events of the story concern Ethelberta's career as a famous poet and storyteller as she struggles to support her family and conceal her secret, that her father is a butler, beautiful, clever, and rational. She easily attracts 4 very persistent suitors: Mr. Christopher Julian, a struggling musician, Mr. Nay and Mr. Ladywell, both gentlemen and friends, and Lord Mountclere, a 65-year-old aristocrat with a dubious past, but is reluctant to give her much coveted hand. She finally elects for Lord Mountclere, after he comes to know the secret of her low birth and family, and she comes to dominate him, running his estate and saving him from bankruptcy. Her unrequited suitor Christopher Julian realizes he would never have been happy with her had she married him, and settles for her younger sister Piketty, who had been in love with him for years. End of the summary. Thank you.